very good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us on Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwuanyanwu. Today we will be focusing on the southeastern region. But before we get into most of all the news coming in from that region, let's take a look at national headlines. The FCT Police Command, in anticipation of the planned nationwide protest over hunger and hardship, has deployed over 4,000 policemen, material and human resources at the command's disposal across the nooks and crannies of the nation's capital. A statement signed by the police public relations officer, Josephine Ade, says the proactive deployment, which is aimed at ensuring public safety, protection of protesters, and preventing protests from being hijacked by non-state actors, is characterized by visibility policing, the deployment of explosive ordnance devices, experts and personnel at various strategic locations, raids on identified black spots, uncompleted buildings and shanties, stop and search, vehicular and foot patrol, and synergy with sister security agencies. The statement adds that the Commissioner of Police FCT, CP Benneth Igwe, while acknowledging the right of residents to protest, advises that it should be peaceful as he vows to resist all forms of violent protest and lawlessness. He adds that the police will not be stamped into allowing the destruction of public and private properties or loss of lives. Also, the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, is calling on the Nigerian youths to desist from the planned nationwide protest, saying it's a deliberate attempt to insinuate anarchy and chaos in the country. The national president of ALGON, Mr. Aminu Maifata, who made this known at a media briefing in Abuja, cautions young Nigerians on violence and destruction ahead of the planned protest over issues of national concerns. On local government autonomy, the body promises to make sure the allocations get to the localities in the regions. We start off in Imo State, where the national chairman of the Labour Party, Mr. Julius Abure, insists that the Labour Party remains the only alternative political party that has the blueprint in solving the present socio-economic challenges in the country. Mr. Abure was speaking in Owerri, the Imo State capital, saying his party brings hope that will change the well-being of Nigerians, as he calls on all Nigerians to support the Labour Party. The Labour Party chairman also says the hardship in the country can be solved with his party's blueprint.
You will agree with me without doubt that Labour Party and Peter Obi's mantra is founded on capacity, on transparency, on dignity, on integrity, and proactiveness and performance. The party at the national level and the party at the state level has a lot to offer. It is not capturing power that matters, but what you do with political power. I want to say clearly that Labour Party at all levels has the answers to the challenges of the socio-economic conditions.
With what we've done so far in this 1 year, over 20 projects ranging from infrastructural projects, empowerment, grading of roads, skill acquisition, and so many other things that we've done in this first year. I think my people are happy with me, and I postulated a lot of things that we need to do in this second year, ranging from infrastructure, empowerment in several areas. Then we also need to do a lot of things with the market people, and you can see that they are highly recognized here today. The Owerri Federal Constituency Students Union is also in place. We are going to partner with them to do a lot of empowerment, support in school, and all the rest of them.
We head over to Abia State, where the Abia State Labour Party has inaugurated Mr. Emmanuel Oti as the acting chairman in order to take charge of running the affairs of the party until the party congress scheduled for mid-next year. Speaking during the inauguration at the party secretariat in Umuahia, the state capital, Governor Alex Oti expressed confidence in the Labour Party's ability to secure victory as the state gears up for the local government election. Governor Oti assures of his administration's modest efforts to deliver democratic dividends to the people.
We prepare for local government elections. The results are not yet here. I have no doubt that we will sweep the entire state. And it's not just about boasting. What we have, they don't have. We have the best people. People who are empathetic. People who feel for the less privileged. People who want things to be better for our people. People who want our people to get jobs. People who do not just want to put money in their pockets and the pockets of their friends, but to use the money to work for everybody, including the opposition. We should not rest on our thoughts. We should continue to do that which we are known for.
In his acceptance speech, the acting chairman, Emmanuel Oti, pledged to carry everyone along and solicited the support of party members as the local government election draws near in the state.
In no distant time, we will be approaching the local government elections. I want to remind us all that if there is any time your participation is great, but is desired, it is now. As you can see, power is shifting back to the grassroots. That is where the actual politicking begins. And we cannot afford to take our present position as a winning party for granted. We will all have to rise to the occasion and lead from the front in our small corners.
The Ebonyi State government has commenced the disbursement of over 2 billion naira to 100 qualified communities and 2,040 labor-intensive public workfare beneficiaries under the World Bank-assisted program. General Manager, Ebonyi State Community and Social Development Agency says the empowerment program is meant for unemployed youths from aged 18 to 45 years and to address the challenges of community development across the 13 local government areas of the state. The statewide micro-project was launched in Abakaliki, the Ebonyi State capital.
Over 2 billion naira has been disbursed to 100 qualified communities and 2,040 labor-intensive public workfare beneficiaries under the World Bank-assisted program. The beneficiaries aged 18 to 45 years are drawn from the 13 local government areas of the state to participate in the empowerment program to address challenges of community underdevelopment.
This money is per month. It's just like we are owing them for, there's we pay in arrears. Now we pay this for. The next leg, if after 6 months again, we pay them. It might not be in this manner. We will pay them through the banks again, their payment, the bank, PSB.
This collaboration with the World Bank, according to the state government, is to trigger simultaneous community development in 100 communities who will benefit from building of schools, primary health centers, boreholes and other infrastructure. In addition to this, about 2,000 beneficiaries will receive 180,000 naira each across the 13 local government areas of the state.
His Excellency directed that because of the hardship in the country now, it's better we give them a lump sum amount so that each beneficiary will know what to use his or her own for. So that's why the first 6 months is 30 times 6 is 180,000 naira. Then after the first 6 months, which is from February to this July, from August they will receive another 180,000 naira for the remaining 6 months of the year.
The flag-off and disbursement of funds was performed by Governor Francis Nwifuru, who was represented by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Moses Odonwa.
The intended achievement is that development will be simultaneous in all the communities, in all the captured 100 communities, simultaneously. And as the development projects will be going on, you have over 2 billion naira empowerment for people from all these communities.
Some of the beneficiaries expressed joy as they said the empowerment will go a long way in helping them.
Actually, into UIS design an intermediate learner, so I was actually looking for ways to leverage it and further my career development. So they had to put me in part of this environment so that I could benefit, and I believe that will give me an edge to further my career development.
I'm very, very happy. Like the amount they gave us will actually go a long way to improve our lives in our daily activities and things that we do.
Over the years, our women and children have been dying of health issues because of poor medical facilities within the community. So, but with the intervention of our executive governor that brought about this community development, I think the situation is purely solved.
The Ebonyi State government says it has set up different committees to monitor and ensure the beneficiaries make good, effective and transparent use of the funds. With these intervention funds, the lives of people in the 100 communities will improve.
We head over to Anambra State, where in a bid to reclaim the ecosystem and build a sustainable environment, the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University has hosted the first ever Climate Action Summit 2024 to lead the campaign on sustainable development. The acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor Kate Omenoga, while insisting that the environment must be saved, announces a 5-year plan to plant 1 million trees, as well as the inauguration of the Students' Environmental Task Force to enforce tree planting compliance, as well as monitor and report activities inimical to the Climate Action Initiative.
Apart from the good number of persons participating in this event virtually, the ETF auditorium at the Igbariam campus of the university is filled with guests from all walks of life, as well as staff and students of the institution. In her welcome remarks, the acting Vice-Chancellor stresses the need to plant trees as part of climate action, while also announcing the university's green plan.
As people who are environmentally friendly, eco-friendly, and people who are ready in every sense of the word to make our environment to be alive. We have plans. We have spoken to a lot of people, and together we have put together a 5-year roadmap for CO2 strategic actions on climate change.
Goodwill Messages reiterate support for the Tree Menders initiative designed to save the environment.
But state government and Mr. Governor is on the same page with the Vice Chancellor on climate action, which will be starting today. We will work closely with you and the already.
And what are the threats to our biodiversity in Nigeria? Habitat destruction, urbanization, agriculture, and so on. Now, we are not saying that we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't progress, we shouldn't develop. But while we are developing, it must not be that we should clear all our trees.
The panel discussion examines challenges of environmental degradation and prefers solutions.
160 communities are threatened by one form of erosion or the other, out of 179. That's a huge number, with over 1,000 active erosion sites.
If we don't live in a sustainable way, if we don't care for that nature that cares for us, those changes that nature is going to make to being equilibrium might not be for us.
Some of the high points of the event include the signing of an MOU with partners supporting the university's tree planting campaign, the recognition of climate ambassadors, as well as the inauguration of the Students' Environmental Task Force.
Joining us on the program is the acting Vice-Chancellor, Chukwuma Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Professor Kate Omenoga. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you very much.
So let's just go straight into it. Could you tell us more about the climate action campaign of your institution?
Thank you very much. What Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University is doing is a huge innovation on what climate action initiatives are. Number one, we stay on a very large hectares of land, about 713 hectares of land. This is quite massive. And we are actually battling with a whole lot of climate change. Our roofs being blown off, a kind of desert-looking environment, and too much heat because of the sun. And we thought we'd do something about it. So one of the things we've done is this initiative of having this climate action summit to sensitize not just the university community, but the global community about the things we need to do. So we have a total buy-in of all our stakeholders, people who are passionate about the environment. We have the buy-in of our students, our staff, everyone. And we have our mantra as one student, one tree, one staff, one tree. So what we are trying to do is not just to plant the trees, but to have some level of sustainability. So we're using a model we call, community-based model, where students, staff in various departments, in various units, we have our green belts, where they plant the trees and own those trees and own the maintenance. It's not just planting trees and going away. It's about taking ownership and making sure that everybody is committed to making sure that they keep them alive. And you see, we are having a kind of league so that every month we put up people who are actually developing their own in the way we would want. Working with the members of the committee, we are putting up a kind of league where we ensure that everybody is being measured and rewarded or not, depending on how they perform. So that's one thing we are definitely doing at the moment to make sure that everybody will get a buy-in into our desire for a favorable environment.
Okay, ma. Now we know that Anambra State is known to be battling with serious erosion. What kind of changes do you want to see happen with your tremendous movement?
Well, number one is that our governor, Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma, is leading in the front. And what we are simply doing is drawing inspiration from what he's doing to ensure that Anambra State is both livable and prosperous. So we're a state university, and we are keying into the vision of our governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma, for a livable and prosperous Anambra. Just last Saturday, he distributed millions and millions of trees to economic trees to the Anambra. We were there to collect our own trees as part of what we are doing. He has equally donated 100,000 palm seedlings for us to develop our own plantation. So what we are doing is keeping alive the vision of the state, keeping alive the vision of Mr. Governor, and keeping alive the vision of Ndi Anambra. And that is why, as a university, we owe it as a duty, to have some impact within the community. And beyond what we are doing in the university, we have adopted some secondary schools, we have adopted some churches, we have adopted some hospitals, the people we call mentees, the people we are bringing in our own vision, the vision of the state, to the very local level, and getting them to be part of the sensitization and the campaign, what we call a crusade, so that people will be alive to actually getting the state to fight erosion, to fight environment that is unfriendly, and to ensure that we are truly in a livable and prosperous state.
Okay, ma. Now, outside the university, what collaborations are you forming, say, with other private institutions, maybe banks? You've mentioned that you've adopted some secondary schools and all of that, but outside of the education sector, what collaborations are you building to ensure that this project comes to light?
We have strategic partnerships with a whole lot of partners who we are present in our summit. We are working closely with NIMET, that has promised that they're going to build a weather station for us. We are partnering with the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, that we signed an an MOU with, that they have basically adopted us, So we've signed that MOU with them on that day. We are partnering with the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. The President was there, Dr. Kenegaki was there, and part of what we have done is we are infusing, into our curriculum, especially in communication, which is the hallmark of the NIPR. They've given us what they call climate action communication as something we'll be doing in Anambra State in our university. And then the best person in that area will not just get a scholarship, but we call it get a job when the person comes out. So we're forming a whole lot of strategic alliances with CCA, with banks, with hotels, with private individuals. A whole lot of people have keyed into and donating massively to this our desire for a change. Tiger Foods, is well known. We are partnering with Tiger Foods. So what we are doing is we are doing strategic alliances and partnerships. And people are not just donating; they are also giving us some technical advice, some form of technical advice. They are giving us the trees. They are giving us money for sustainability of those trees and a whole lot of things. So it's something I'm very, very excited about. And I'm glad that a whole lot of people are joining us in this campaign.
No problem. Thank you very, very much, Ma. We do hope that this project continues. We've been speaking to the Acting Vice Chancellor, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Professor Kate Omenoga. Thank you very much, Ma, for joining us.
Thank you.
On a sad note, we move over as President Bola Tinubu has sent his commiserations to the family of the late President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, who passed away on Thursday. President Tinubu condoles with the Imo State government, the friends and associates of the deceased, and Ndigbo over this irreparable loss of the accomplished businessman and notable politician. The president affirms that Chief Iwuanyanwu will always be remembered for his remarkable legacy. He prays for the repose of the soul of the departed elder statesman and comfort to his family. Still on the death of the elder statesman, Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State says he is deeply pained on hearing of the death of the revered elder statesman. The governor extended condolences to the Iwuanyanwu family, the people of Ikeduru local government area, Imo State at large, and Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide on behalf of his government and the good people of Imo State. He describes Chief Iwuanyanwu as an eminent philanthropist and leader and a true nationalist whose contributions transcended ethnic boundaries and a guiding light in turbulent times, providing wisdom and expertise that were indispensable. He says Chief Iwuanyanwu's legacy will continue to inspire and guide us in the quest for a peaceful and united Nigeria. May God grant his soul eternal rest and provide his family the fortitude to bear this immense loss. Indigents of Imo State and the entire southeast have continued to react to the death of the President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, who died at the age of 82 after a brief illness. A successful businessman, politician, and elder statesman will also be remembered for his firm belief in restructuring state police and unity of the country. Our Imo State correspondent, Eyitokbe Kuteye, has this report on the life and times of the late Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu.
Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu was born on September the 4th, 1942 in Umoi Ata community in Ikeduru local government area of Imo State. The late philanthropist and business mogul had his early education in Rivers and Anambra States before proceeding to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he studied civil engineering. He later joined the Biafran Army during the Nigerian Civil War between 1967 and 1970, and he rose to the position of a captain. After the Civil War, he went back to complete his education, where he graduated as a civil engineer. As a successful civil engineer and businessman, he established a lot of businesses spanning from construction to sports, aviation, and media. As an astute and fearless politician, between 1990 and 1998, he made an attempt to contest for the presidency of Nigeria, which was unsuccessful. And in 1999, he joined the People's Democratic Party, PDP, where he rose to the position of a member of the Board of Trustees until his retirement from politics in 2021. In April 2023, he emerged as a replacement for the late Professor George Obiozo as the President General of the Igbo Apex Socio-Cultural Group, or Aneze Ndigo, a position he held until his death. Indigenes of Imo State and beyond have continued to react to his death. They say he will be greatly missed at a time when Nigerians and Igbos in particular need his wealth of experience and wisdom.
There's a lot of things he has done for Nigeria and Imo State and Ndiwa as a whole. So his death is a shocking news to me.
Nigeria has lost a very big game. The next 10 years coming, we'll still remember the man, Chief Dr. Iwuanyanwu, member of Federal Republic, and Jagamba, one of Igbo land. I know him too well, and I know the family. In fact, I'm one of the young men that he put in this Igbo government position.
He was a political juggernaut, you know, and he impacted positively in my local government, in my state, in Nigeria, and Africa as a whole.
He supported major developmental issues and was a strong advocate of restructuring state police and a united Nigeria.
Since 1999, to request that we have additional states, at least to make it 6 states. This question of state is a question. There is no miracle about it. It's a matter of honesty, love, which can rule us together. And I have said it often and on that the fundamental requisite for any enduring social order or enduring unity is honesty, fairness, justice. And that is what we Igbos want from this country. We don't want to take what doesn't belong to us. We want people to be fair to us. Give us what belongs to us.
At the regional level, he was a big voice for the Igbos' participation in national development, and at different fora, he had called on the federal government to release the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, whom he visited in detention just a few weeks before his death. Tributes are already pouring in for the late elder statesman, many of whom praise his positive impact on the lives he touched and a great legacy that should be emulated. Channels Television News.
And that's where we draw the curtains on Newsroom series for today. I'm Dominic Iwuanyanwu. Enjoy the rest of your day.